I don't think I'll get there. Oh, I got there. Wow, I'm sorry. Nobody stacked. Stacked them. What is up? I am the pro. I'm on a journey to make poker cool again. Today, I'm playing the craziest 2-5 session of my life. We got out of here way too late. It's dark out and we haven't even left yet. Absolute disgrace. Mr. Locked In and I, wait, you can't really see him back there, are vlogging. My vlog is like super authentic and based. He's like setting up the fucking camera. Sad. All right, let's drive. All right, so we're here playing at TCH in Las Colinas. The stakes are 2-5 and we buy in for the max, 1.5K. Somehow, we get seated right next to Henry. That's probably pretty bad for his bankroll series. In fact, I think I saw him request a table change after realizing that he might be in the worst seat in the house. But enough of that. Let's get into the first hand. This is a huge one. We pick up 10s in middle position. I open to 40, but my raise is quickly followed by a locked-in 3-bet to 125. In the small blind, we have a short stack player. This idiot doesn't even realize the pot was 3-bet. Unsure whether he's just a terrible player or if locked-in can't raise his voice enough to travel across the table. The jury's still out on that one, but he goes to call, and the dealer condescendingly informs him of the 3-bet. And after failing to properly call and clearly flustered, he retracts his stack of reds and jams! All in for 500. I tank, and it doesn't take a triple-digit IQ to tell that he was clearly flustered from this earlier error. As I look at his beat red, pathetic face, I 5-bet jam for 1,500 effective. Unfortunately, on my left, I get snapped. He tells me he's ahead of me, but I'm confident in the 10s. Uh-oh, I don't have that good of a hand. One time. The flop runs out ace 4 deuce. We need some help. The turn rolls over a 9. Almost all hope is lost, and the river comes a 10. Bang! Nobody runs better than the pro. Somebody stacked. I pick up my 10s and roll them over onto the table. Then I stick my... All right, let's keep it PG. Nobody else at the table can play 10s like the pro. The cutoff shows 7-7, and locked in shows queen-queen, and I'm raking in 3,500 to start the session. A few hands later, I pick up pocket 8s on the button. There are 2 limpers, and the action is on us. This is Texas, and you know what they say, almost everything is bigger in Texas. I raise to 75 in position, and of course, one of the limpers has to make a comment. It's a reasonable raise. I thought we were playing 10-20. He called? He agrees. He agrees. Then to add to the tomfoolery, the big blind, who I had just shown a bluff to a few minutes prior, is on a mission to stack me and decides to cold call. The first limper calls, and the second limper, the same guy who was complaining about how large I was, who was complaining about how large I went, calls as well. Off to a flop, and boom! Middle set for the pro. King 8-4 rainbow, one of the most epic boards of all time. As I hit a set, it checks to us, and we utilize our maniac image and go half pot to 150. We're gonna target our opponent's King X as well as unbelieving pocket pairs, and the big blind snap calls, and the other 2 players get out of the way. Now, before we go off to a turn, let me paint a picture about the player in the big blind here. He is the encapsulation of what poker HUDs call yummy fish. A player who plays way too many hands, isn't aggressive with the strong ones, and is a calling station with his weak ones. Oh, and his nickname is Uncle for some reason, which is what we'll refer to him for the remainder of our pot. So now with the background painted, we go off to a turn. The turn is a clean queen of clubs, bringing in a backdoor club draw and potentially improving my opponent's king queen. Maybe he has queen 8, I don't know, queen 4. He could have anything. I know for a fact this gup is gonna call us down with any king X, so we decide to size for the river jam. He has about 2250 in his stack, and I bet 500, and as expected, he snaps, almost beating us into the pot. So we're looking for a clean river, and boom! Bang, bang, bang! Triple bang, the river peels off the 4 of clubs. The backdoor flush gets there. I have a full house. We just have the nuts. He checks to me, and I go all in for 1750. And he snap calls and rolls over the nut flush. I triumphantly slam down my 8s, absolutely obliterating any dwindling hope that Mr. Uncle had. What a cooler.
What a run out for the pro. Nobody.
So now at this point we got a lot in our stack, but bear with me, hand 3 is a weird one, and we have a new target at the table. The dude in seat 8 was doing 2 things that really ticked me off. Number 1, he was refusing to straddle to $10 while everybody else at the table was obliging. Pretty scummy move. And 2, he would audibly scoff every single time I would raise to large sizing pre-flop. This is my table, and I wasn't going to tolerate any disrespect or nittery from this hair gelled incel. So when I notice his open under the gun, I immediately decide that I'm gonna get him. It folds to us, and it's time to gun him down. I find a blind 3-bet to 105. I peel my hand, and unfortunately it's 3-4 offsuit, so that's not great, but I had intentions of bullying this little dude off the pot anyways. So when the flop comes, queen 8-6 rainbow, a good board for us to c-bet. He checks to us, and we bet for 100. He gives us a short glance, a pathetic one at that, and I interpret this as weakness, and it's probably a one and done calling situation for him. The turn is not one that we really want to see because it comes a 5, so now we actually have equity, but that's okay. We didn't get this far to not blast off our stack. We decided we're gonna own this gentleman, so let's bet with 4 high. He snap checks to me, and I give him a stare as I push forward 250, and he folds. Sometimes great players just have to make it happen, and that's what we do.
Should I forfeit?
I didn't even look. So let's get into the next one with our 4th hand of the session. The same guy in middle position opens to 75, and we glance down at ace-5 of hearts. As you would know, I am the purest GTO follower in all of poker, and GTO says this is a 3-bet, so I bump it up to 300. Unfortunately, middle position snap calls, playing for 1400 or so effective off to a flop. Jack 6-4 rainbow with backdoor draws on a must-see bet board. We lead on the larger side for 250. Playing it as if we have aces, our opponent quickly calls. Here comes the turn, and it's a semi-fun one. You know, the 2 of spades with the gut shot on a completely rainbow board against a tighter opponent that might fold a jack in this 3-bet pot. We decide to go all in. Please fold, please fold, please fold, please fold, please fold, please fold. Shoot. After about a minute of tanking, he sticks in the call. I congratulate him on the nice call, but then on the river, right as I am declaring I'm not going to get there, I don't think. Oh! I am interrupted by the beautiful 3 of hearts. I smack the gut shot the way I smacked the 10s. I roll over the ace-5, and the old man's heart skips a few beats, raking in another big one. They say it for a reason. Nobody runs better than the freaking pro. 2 hands later, we wake up with our absolute favorite hand in the deck. The beautiful 10-8 of diamonds. Diamonds specifically. We are in the cutoff, and we take an aggressive line with a 3-bet to 200, and of course, the man we had just felted snaps. So this is going to be our 3rd pot against the same guy in a row. We're currently 2-0. There is one additional caller, and we are off to a flop, one that runs out Jack 7-3, 1 diamond. So we have a gut shot and a backdoor diamond draw with intentions of checking back the flop due to our egregiously bad table image at this point. But we're in a weird spot as our 3-outed buddy donk leads for 200, a really small sizing. The guy in between us folds, and I have absolutely no plans of folding, especially with my favorite hand. So the turn comes, and we gain some additional equity with the jack of diamonds. Unfortunately, this improves a lot of his suspected donking range. That's going to be like queen jack, jack 10 to keep the pot small. And he snap jams for his remaining 700. Ew. So we need to call 700 in order to win about 2,400. So we need around 30% equity. And we're almost getting the correct odds to make the call. And you know, we're on a heater. I'm feeling on top of the world. You know that nobody runs better. Let's do maybe a favor and give this guy some action. I tease him a bit, tell him I have 10 high, and that I don't want to suck out on him. I tell him I know I'm going to get there. I really want to give it back. I really want to call this. All right, I stick in the call eventually. One more time, dealer, and you already know it runs out the gorgeous ace of diamonds. Flush for the pro. I lit up, tabled my hand. Our adversary stands there for a second in disbelief and mucks his hand. He later said he had ace 7, meaning I had 18 outs. That's an insane amount. So I was most definitely priced in for that call. We urged him to hit the cage for more chips, but unfortunately, we sent him home after 2 suck outs back to back. Woo! Got him twice in a row, 2 hands in a row. Fucking around. At this point, I have over 9K in my stack, but if you think it stops there, you're mistaken. We end our conquest of the 2-5 streets with one final hand. I'm in the $10 straddle, middle position. A nice young lad with approximately 700 in his stack opens to 50. I have king 3 offsuit, and I decide to give some action. It's towards the end of the night, and I'm just up heaps at this point. Flop is 8-5-3 rainbow. We flop bottom pair, and it quickly goes check, check. So we're off to a turn, which isn't great. The turn is an offsuit queen. He bets 50, and I snap him off. And of course, you already know, the river is a big, beautiful king. I check over to my opponent. He bets 100, and I snap jam for his remaining 5. He thinks for a second, calls. I announce 2 pair, triumphantly flip my king 3 offsuit. He takes a second, silent, gives us the little 1,000-mile stare, and mucks his hand. The table is hysterically laughing at this point. They know, you know, and boy do I know, nobody runs better than the pro. That will conclude the most epic 3 or 4 hour 2-5 session in my entire life. We leave the table with an unrivaled trail of luck boxing destruction and cash out our nearly $7,000 win. There were maybe some more hands that I didn't show. Gotta keep a bit of the mystery. The only important thing to note is that through 2 episodes, the pro is up nearly $30,000. I stacked locked in on a 2-outer on the river. Screamed nobody. Everyone thought it was sick. Table went wild. Where is our car? Nobody runs better than the pro. What a sesh. Look at these 5K chips. Pretty cool stuff. $5,000 in my hand. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. On the quest to $1 million. Let's go. 4 months to go. Let's do it.